Hey there. Welcome back to I'm Pretty Sure I Can Fix That. Today, I'm looking to show you how to receive an inventory against a purchase order manually in QuickBooks Desktop. The reason why you want to know how to do this is because essentially your purchase order rate is your list of stuff that is due from vendors. Essentially, you can use it as, hey, here's what's coming in the mail to me, right? Here's all the inventory I should be expecting. This is so important for planning your manufacturing, your production, and being able to manage customer expectations along with understand where you need to surge. So, a purchase order in nature in QuickBooks is it doesn't create any financial transactions. Truly, it is just for your own tracking, right? So, if I go, for example, to purchases and then open purchase orders, this shows me everything due from vendors. I have from McMaster-Carr a purchase order due on 5/4/25, so I could give this to my shipping department. So, with that, when the item comes in, the question becomes, okay, well, how can they get it into QuickBooks, right? How can QuickBooks recognize that I have this item? And we do that by receiving. So, the way I typically recommend organizations to do this manually is your receiving department is going to go to receive inventory and receive inventory without bill. Typically, right, your receiving department or whoever is receiving at that point is only going to have the packing slip and not the bill. It's also a fundamental control. You probably want to have that segregation of duties and responsibilities where the person receiving is also not approving the bill at the same time. Bills also typically come in separately from the packing slip. But so what's going to happen is I'm going to click receive inventory without bill, and it will essentially pop up with an item receipt. What the item receipt is, it's literally just that. This is a blank. This is blank. It's saying essentially I have no receiver in front of me. What they're going to do is find your vendor, McMaster-Carr, and it's going to go, hey, you got open purchase orders for this vendor. Do you want to receive against them? Yes, I do. And my recommendation is you make it so your receiving department only ever receives against open purchase orders, right? Because if you let them just freely receive, how do you ever know what you're receiving is what you actually order, right? This is a basic control to make sure that your vendor's either not sending you the wrong thing or short shipping you. So we're going to hit yes, and in front of me, I would have my packing slip that had my purchase order number. This is what your receiving department would be using to go, hey, this is the purchase order I want to receive against. So I would select OK. So then it's going to pop up with this item receipt. It is bringing in basically the full open quantity of I'm supposed to get 3 of these and 12 of these. The bill received is not checked. The reason why is because we checked receive without bill, right? That goes back to that basic segregation of duties. So I would go through, use whatever correct date. Typically, I use the doc date, right? Because that's the thing that's going to drive. Your reference number, I'd recommend you use your packing slip number or something that links back to that packing slip. So for us, it'll be 675469. The total, you never really want them adjusting cost, right? Because the point of your receiver or that basic control is you are validating quantity received, not amount. Your amount is for your accounting department. That's when they would get the bill and they would be validating there and going back to the vendor if it didn't match. These are the two things you want your receiving department validating, right? So, with the items in front of them, they would be physically counting, did I get 3 of these? Did I get 12 of these? If they go, yep, I did, I got 3 and 12, you can go ahead and just hit save and close. But maybe, you know what? I only actually got 1 of these and I only got 6 of these. Well, all they have to do is override that quantity, but you want this to match your actual count because what's going to happen is this is going to flow through to what your accounting department can post a bill against. And if you bring in the full quantity, well, guess what? You're going to be paying for product that you don't have. And your accounting department's also not going to know to reach out to the vendor and go, hey, either we were short shipped or we're still waiting on another order. But so when they update their quantity to the actual count that's in front of them, not what the packing slip says, what they physically have validated, they will just hit save and close. So now let's go look at that purchase order, right? Because we have a back order because we only partially received everything. We are still owed items from McMaster-Carr. Well, if I go to purchase orders and look at that, here's my received quantity of wax, and here's what I'm owed. So I can either go receive inventory, receive without bill, just like we did before, and when that remaining shipment comes in, I can receive it just like we did, or we can use another option. So now let's go look at that purchase order in its current state, because we are actually still owed stuff from McMaster-Carr, right? Because they didn't ship us the whole purchase order. So if I go to purchase orders and I go look, well, look at that. I've received the 1 and the 6 like we just did, and I'm still owed 2 and 6. And I can see right here in this recent transactions, this is actually that receipt that we're referencing. So another way to see this item receipt is to go to select item receipts and then McMaster-Carr. And this is that packing slip number we assigned. This is a way for us to see the linked transactions to that purchase order. So if you were trying to audit all those receipts or whatever it should be, this is how you can find related transactions. But we go, you know what? I want to receive this 2 and this 6. I have it in front of me. McMaster-Carr truly did ship me it. What I can do is I can go to create item receipts from this screen, hit enter on McMaster-Carr, or I meant tab. Then we're going to, just like before, yep, I want to receive it. Okay, yes. And then look at that. It's that 2 and that 6 we just referenced. I'm going to go ahead and put in my packing slip number. Bada bing, bada boom. We have received it. And look at that. Our purchase order is now also received in full. We are not owed anything. It's closed. And if I go back to my open purchase order report, oh, look at that, it's blank because nothing is owed to me on it. And now I can actually use this basic report to fundamentally drive what am I expecting for my receiving department. So now also, let's go check out those items, right? I should have 3 of this SKU and 12 of this SKU. Let's check it out. We can quickly check in our item list. Look at that, 3 and 12. So that is the most like baseline level way of how to receive inventory in QuickBooks Desktop, right? Not pulling in scan guns or anything, just from a purchase order to receive inventory, how do I manually do it? There are obviously more sophisticated ways that we can go about it, but when you're just starting your system, it's use what you have, right? Don't start adding a bunch of capital into investing in it. Start with basically your Maslow's hierarchy of what's the most basic way I can do it, and then develop from there for what's most natural to your organization, along with this is what the system wants to do. Don't try to, make basically use paper clips and bubble gum to build a receiving system when you can simply do it this way. I'll be uploading the more complicated methods I shouldn't say more complicated, more sophisticated methods to receive in QuickBooks Desktop eventually, but I think this is a really necessary baseline understanding to even get to there. You need to understand how to do the manual receipt method before you can move on to those more sophisticated ones. But also, I've seen plenty of organizations that this works for them with correct user controls and permissions and just good segregation of duties. This can be scalable for a long amount of time in your business until you naturally have that capital and that more complicated processes developed to support something like barcode scanning. But all right, guys, thank you so much. Another quick one, but if you have any questions or any concerns, please let me know. And if you want to know the accounting behind receiving inventory and those open bills, please feel free to leave a comment below and I will go through that in more detail, or actually in any type of detail. I didn't really hit receive not invoice in this one, but I felt that this is more something about the actual process of receiving inventory, not the accounting behind it. But if you want it, feel free to comment. If you have any other questions on QuickBooks, please also comment below. Again, not the most concise videos, but I'm hoping helpful and informational. All right, bye guys. Thanks.